What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here to review and talk about the Amityville Horror. I'm on 4K, guys. I was excited to get this. I was very excited to get this in. Now, guys, I want to be upfront with you. I am fighting a cold right now. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling weak. I feel a chill. There's a chill. I feel like Ryan Reynolds in this movie when he gets to a certain point in the movie. Only I don't have the burning desire to go upstairs and kill my family. I don't have that part of it, but I am chilly and I am fighting a cold. So look, if you say, or if you think to yourself, Ken looks tired, Ken looks out of it in this review, it's because I probably am. But you know what? The show must go on. I got to let you guys know about these 4K releases, Blu-ray releases. I got to keep the physical media train going, guys. I keep things going. So no matter how embarrassing it might be, we're going to talk about the Amityville Horror on 4K. Before we get into it, though, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel all the time, okay? I keep things going, whether I'm sick or I'm well. It doesn't matter, okay? We keep things going on this channel. So hit the subscribe button and, you know, comment down below. What do you think about the Amityville Horror from 2005? This is the remake, by the way. This is not the original, which has a 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, by the way, which is one of the best 4Ks. I talked about it recently in my best and worst of Vinegar Syndrome. So, yeah, that's a great 4K. Definitely check that one out. But we're talking about the remake on 4K. And, guys, look. We're going to dive into all aspects of this. We're going to talk about the actual 4K restoration. We're going to talk about the movie for a bit. We're going to talk about the special features. There's actually a lot that goes into the special features that I want to get into with this. The sound as well. We'll do a little unboxing of the packaging here. I am not trying to mislead you guys, okay? We're going to cut the shit in this review today. I'm going to let you guys know, is this worth picking up or not, okay? Or if you got this Blu-ray from back in the day, do you just keep this? Are you okay just keeping this? Or the DVD? I used to have the DVD back in the day. I guess I purged it back when I purged all my DVDs back in 2015, 2016. But I don't want to mislead anybody. Okay, this is $32.99 right now currently on Amazon and on Groove. Groove is also selling Scream Factory titles. And from what I hear, I'll find this out soon because I have the Stepfather on the way on 4K from Groove. From what I hear, Groove ships this stuff early, but I did get this on release day from Amazon. But anyway, the pricing, guys, $32.99 for this 4K right now, which, look, guys, Scream Factory, they've been raising their price a little bit. A 4K used to be $27.99, then it got raised to $29.99, now it's $32.99. That's just the way it is. Physical media is going up across the board, as is everything nowadays. It feels like the Blu-ray, however, okay, just the regular bare bones Blu-ray that is on Amazon right now is going for $6. I just bought this recently, actually, on Groove. So, like I said, guys, the Blu-ray curse does exist. I bought this recently on Groove for $6. I've had it like maybe 2 or 3 months, and I hadn't even watched it yet. I watched it a little bit of it just to kind of compare it to this this 4K here, and also the special features as well, which we'll get into. Let's talk about the movie for a second. So, this came out. I saw this in the theaters. I saw this in the theaters back in 2005, but this was the era of the horror remakes that just permeated all through the 2000s. It was Saw, it was Paranormal Activity, and it was a long line of horror remakes. That kind of made up the 2000s, and that's why I kind of just became disinterested with the genre in the 2000s. But this was one of the horror remakes that I actually really liked back in the day. And this came out the same year as The Fog, which we don't have to talk about The Fog. One of the worst horror remakes, but I actually really liked the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Then we got the Halloween remake. We got Friday the 13th remake. We got Nightmare on Elm Street remake. This was the, I think what they call the Platinum Dunes era. You know, Michael Bay's production company was Platinum Dunes. I remember seeing Platinum Dunes before all these movies started back in the day, and I remember seeing Michael Bay's name plastered all over the horror films. I'm like, oh, I guess Michael Bay's, you know, getting out of action, moving into horror. I didn't really like get into like directors and stuff unless it was like Tarantino or Kevin Smith or Steven Spielberg back in the day. If I saw Michael Bay's name on it, I just assumed that Michael Bay made the movie back in the day. But the actual director of this film is Andrew Douglas, and this was a first-time directorial debut for Andrew Douglas in this. He directed a bunch of commercials before he came over from the UK to direct the Amityville horror remake, and he was very excited to do so because he was such a fan of the original. And when you watch this movie, you feel the love for the original, and I love the original Amityville Horror. I think it's one of the greatest horror films of all time, and I think it's actually, as far as like classic horror films go, I think it's super underrated. I think a lot of people sleep on that one. I really enjoy that movie. But I loved this movie. I loved it when I first saw it. You know, Ryan Reynolds, you know, he was hot as a comedian at this time, as a comic star. He was doing, you know, Van Wilder. I think Waiting and Just Friends came out the same year as the Amityville Horror did, and those are two of my favorite comedies. I love those movies. So he was like, you know, deep into the comedy at this point in time. This is a very serious role from Ryan Reynolds, but it's not like 100% serious, because there are moments where he's trying, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but he's trying to be scary. He's trying to be mean. He's trying to be angry. But in some moments, it kind of comes off kind of comedic, the way he says some things. Like when he is talking to Melissa George in the kitchen, and he's like, how did you get to be so effing stupid? Like, I cracked up laughing. I remember back in the day, and recently when I just watched it, or when he tells a little kid to wipe that stupid look off his face. Like, there are lines that he delivers that probably shouldn't be funny in this movie that are funny because Ryan Reynolds delivers them. But I still really don't think that takes away from his performance. I actually think he's really good in this movie. As a man, as a father figure, you know, he's the stepdad to these kids. You know, normal man that you can tell wants to do good, wants to provide for his family. And he's kind of thrust into this you know, possessed house that possesses him and basically turns him evil and wants him to kill his family. So that turn that he makes, I think, is very believable. And I think he pulls off that performance very well. This is a very good, you know, with the exception of some of those lines that he delivers being kind of comedic, this is a very good dramatic performance, I would say, by Ryan Reynolds. He is very good in this movie. I like Melissa George as the mom in this film. Got Chloe Grace Moretz, which I didn't remember. She's a really, really little girl in this movie. She's probably like 8 or 9 years old. This was 5 years before she would do Kick-Ass and kind of have her breakout. It's a good cast, and it's a good family dynamic. I buy into them as a family. And there's just some good, you know, creepy, suspenseful, atmospheric moments in this movie. The criticism I can have towards this movie compared to the original is they just kind of jump into it. There's no real like tension and suspense building in this movie. There's a little bit. There's a little bit in about the first 10 to 15 minutes, but it kind of just plows straight into it. And Ryan Reynolds is like a dick, like right off the bat. And there's things happening. People are falling off the roof, and I'm not trying to spoil things. I didn't tell you who fell off the roof. You know, you have the iconic babysitter moment that was in the first film. You have the priest coming over that was in the first film. But I just feel like they don't build to the crescendo quite as perfectly as the first film did. It kind of just gets to the point a lot quicker, which some people, that might be why they like this movie more than the original, because it does just kind of get right into it and doesn't waste any time. It's not a slow burn like the first one, but I think it kind of takes away a little bit of the creepiness, a little bit of the atmosphere. But let's go ahead and get into the actual 4K here, guys. The 4K restoration. It's a native 4K. You got Dolby Vision. You got HDR10. Now, this is a new scan, a new 4K scan. This is stated on the back, guys, from the original digital intermediate film negative. So it's not from the original 35 millimeter camera negative. It's from the digital intermediate. But to be honest, like, I thought it looked really great. Like, this movie is got, you know, really nice setting, really nice outdoor setting. It's on a house. It's at a house on a lake. All that stuff looks great. You got the green trees around. The house itself looks magnificent. There's a lot of really great scenes at night, and I think a lot of nighttime scenes look really great in 4K with the HDR. You can really make out that depth. There's a lot of rain sequences towards the end that look great on 4K. I think the 4K looks really good. Is it the best 4K I've ever seen? Is it the most blow-away 4K transfer I've ever seen? No, but I think it looks nice. It is a nice, very solid 4K that I did quite enjoy. Now, what I want to get into, and there's some great definition, guys, some really great definition, really great clarity. You can really make out all the little details on Ryan Reynolds' face, Melissa George, all the characters, guys. You can see the individual hairs on Ryan Reynolds' face because he's got a beard in this movie. He was pretty clean shaven until he got to Amityville Horror. Then he grew a beard. You can see all those little hairs. A lot of great detail on the 4K. But what I want to talk about is just how this compares to the Blu-ray, because I really think this is going to inform your purchase here, what I'm about to say. This Blu-ray right here is a really solid Blu-ray. Like, this Blu-ray looks actually really damn good. And the Blu-ray here, it's stating that it's a new scan from the digital intermediate as well. But it's not saying a new 4K scan, so I don't know if that was a misprint or not, but it doesn't actually say new 4K scan right there. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because I'm pretty sure, like, they put new 4K scan on the Blu-ray as well, because it's a 4K scan on the Blu-ray, and then the 4K scan is on the actual 4K disc as well. So it does say it's a new scan on this Blu-ray. I checked out a couple of minutes of this Blu-ray. Looks great as well. But to be completely honest, when I popped this Blu-ray in, I was like, damn, this looks great. Like, the Blu-ray honestly looks great. Yes, the 4K is a really solid 4K. There is more detail. There is more definition. There is more clarity for sure, but there's actually a lot of clarity in this. The Blu-ray looks really good to the point where I would struggle to recommend this based on the upgrade alone. So I do want to call that out for sure. Now get it, even though it's a really nice 4K, guys. I want you guys to understand that. Really nice 4K, but the Blu-ray is actually really good as well. Now getting into the sound, guys, you got the 5.1, which is not an upgrade over the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray had the 5.1 as well. I don't know if the DVD did, but I imagine maybe it did. But here, guys, with this release, you get the 2.0 stereo audio as well, which the Blu-ray, I do not believe has. And I'm looking right here just to make sure because I checked this on Blu-ray.com. But no, the Blu-ray has the 5.1 DTS HD on English, and it also has the 5.1 on French as well, but it does not have a 2.0. This has a 2.0, so you have multiple audio options. As for the audio, guys, I think in Atmos for this release, I mean, they did an Atmos for, Poltergeist 2. I think in Atmos for the Amityville Horror, there's enough here that I think an Atmos would have been warranted with this release, especially with all the rainfall and all the creaks and stuff of the house. There's a lot of slamming and banging and some action. There's action in this movie, in this house, and I think it would have lent itself well to a Dolby Atmos upgrade. So not really sure why Scream Factory didn't do the audio upgrade here. Maybe they just didn't think it was worth it for this particular film, and they did Poltergeist 2. I'm not sure, but I think a audio upgrade would have been warranted with the Amityville Horror, but they didn't do it. They gave us the 5.1. They gave us the 2.0. Let's get into the actual packaging real quick, guys. This is the original theatrical poster. I cannot remember. Maybe I'll flash an image up. I can't remember what the DVD was, but I did buy the DVD. Like, that was one DVD that I made sure to buy because I did like this movie a lot. I can't remember what that cover was. I feel like it was pretty similar to this Blu-ray cover, to be completely honest, but I'll flash that up. But anyway, this is the original poster. It's a great poster. It's you got Ryan Reynolds right there with the shotgun. It looks great. It looks badass. You got the iconic house right there, and I really enjoy that for sure. And then I'll show you the back right there. You got the spine. Show it on the back. Flip it around. You got the iconic house. Picture of that. You got a picture of some of the people in the movie. Bam. I'll show you the synopsis. If you guys want to browse the special features, which we'll talk about here in a second. And there you go, guys. It says MGM on the back. And it also says Dimension. It's got Platinum Dune. So there's a lot of people that had their hands in this movie. But we'll take it out of the slipcover. There is no reversible cover art, guys, so I'm not even going to look. I've already checked. Scream Factory doesn't do reversible cover arts on their 4K upgrades, which is a shame. But you have the Blu-ray right here, and you have the 4K with their own separate images, different images on those. So we'll go ahead and close this up. But let's get into the special features, guys, because there's actually a lot to get into when it comes to the special features. So right away with this release, guys, you have Revisiting the Amityville Horror. So that is the big new special feature here, which is a 45-minute, pretty much you can call it a documentary, with the director and the person that scored the film, which I don't want to butcher his name, but I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that scored Friday the 13th and also A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think he pretty much worked with Platinum Dunes for a lot of their horror remakes after this one. But composer Steve Jablonsky, I'll say Jablonsky is his name. So he's in this, and then you have the director Andrew Douglas, and they're just kind of going back and forth. They're not, it's not like an interview style where they're both talking to each other, but they're just kind of cutting back and forth between both of them, talking about the making of this movie from their perspective. You know, the guy's getting into a lot of the music, how he made some of the choices that he made, and then the director talks about his, pathway to directing this film and all of his thought processes going into remaking this movie and how to make it different from the original. So it's actually a really good feature, and like I said, it's 45 minutes. When I first saw it, I was like, oh man, it's only one new special feature? That's disappointing, but this is the kind of feature that I like. I would much rather have this kind of documentary style special feature than I would like 3 or 4 separate interviews that are like 6 or 7 minutes a piece or something like that. Like, this is something you can just play and then just kind of dig into and not have to worry about scrolling to different features and stuff like that. So I actually thought this is a really, really solid new special feature right here. Much appreciated for Scream Factory to add this to their release. Like I said, 45 minutes long. You also have an audio commentary with Ryan Reynolds, Andrew Form, and Brad Fuller. Now, this audio commentary is not present on this Blu-ray release. And this is what we're going to get into here in a second, guys. The audio commentary is not on this Blu-ray, but it was on the DVD back in the day because this is an older commentary. This is not new to the Scream Factory edition. It's also got deleted scenes with optional audio commentary with Ryan Reynolds, Andrew Form, and Brad Fuller as well. It's got the source of evil making the Amityville, which is about a 30-minute documentary that debuted on the DVD release back in the day. You also got on-set peeks, home movies, scare reel, and theatrical trailer. Now, what I want to say about this Blu-ray that I have right here is it has none of that. The only thing this Blu-ray has is a theatrical trailer. So what they did, guys, is all the archival special features on this 4K are from the DVD. They are not from the Blu-ray, and they weren't even put on the Blu-ray. Now, what I will say, when the Blu-ray first came out, it had a DVD with it. There was a Blu-ray DVD combo, and all the special features were on the DVD. So I guess they never felt the need to put the features on the actual Blu-ray disc because they thought they were present on the DVD, and that was good enough. But when they re-released this Blu-ray with just a Blu-ray only and dropped the DVD, now they have a release with no special features and just a theatrical trailer, no audio commentary as well. So yes, you can buy this Blu-ray, and yes, it's $6 right now, but you're not going to have any of the archival special features. You're not going to have the new special feature on the Scream Factory edition. You're not going to have anything. You're going to have a bare bones release. So at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to picking up this new 4K release from Scream Factory versus the older Blu-ray, it really just comes down to how much do you care about special features. If you only care about owning the movie in your collection with a really good, solid, HD transfer, then I think this Blu-ray is probably good enough. But if you're upset with not having any of the special features, even the past ones from the DVD, you may want to get the Scream Factory because you get all the past stuff and you also get a new 45-minute making of. And look, at the end of the day, guys, this does look better than the Blu-ray. So if you want this movie, if it's an important movie to you and you want it in the best possible picture quality, then yes, get this 4K. But if you're just kind of a fan of the movie and you want to watch it again, I think this Blu-ray is honestly good enough. Like I said, guys, I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to make you feel like, because there's a lot of stuff coming out, guys. A lot of stuff. People got to spend a lot of money going into the holiday season. I don't want to make you feel like you have to spend extra money when you don't. So yes, this is a solid 4K. It's a solid upgrade, but the Blu-ray looks good. It just doesn't have any of the features. So you really just have to decide, are the features important to you before you grab this 4K release? But that's my review, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.